Security tokens. What are they and why will they be so big over the next couple of years? Over the past year and a half, we've seen a massive influx of money into the ICO space. But I personally believe, as many others do in the space, that security token offerings are going to overtake ICOs at some point. In this video, I'm going to be explaining what a security token is very simply, and covering why I believe it's such an important topic to know about. Remember that nothing in this video or on this channel is financial advice. These videos are made for entertainment purposes only, and you should always do your own research before investing. I'm going to flash up the full disclaimer now. Please pause the video and read it. Let's break down what a security token is. There's two words there, so let's begin with the first. What is a security? A security is a fungible, negotiable financial instrument that holds some monetary value, and that is a terrible description that's probably confused many of you. Some examples include stocks, bonds, funds, real estate investment trusts, etc. Basically, something which is backed by something that you can invest into. So just about any investments you've probably heard in the past fall under the category of a security. What is a security token then? It sounds very complex, but to be honest, the idea is actually very simple. In the past, if you bought a security, such as a stock in a company, that information would be recorded via writing it down on paper or a PDF. A security token is basically just a token which represents the same thing. So instead of creating a PDF which has information saying, I own this stock, we're just creating a token on a blockchain which says, I own this stock. It's essentially the same thing, it's just another way of proving that you own that underlying security. If it's such a small change, then why will security tokens potentially be so big in the future? It's because of the massive advantages that they bring over the traditional system. We're gonna run through 5 advantages now. These aren't all of the benefits, there are some others as well, but this video is just meant to be a concise overview rather than an in-depth analysis. Advantage number 1, 24/7 trading. If you've ever traded on a stock exchange, you'll know that it closes on the evening of weekdays and it's closed Saturday and Sunday. If you've traded cryptocurrencies, you'll know that they trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. By having a security token on a blockchain, this offers the potential for 24/7 trading. What's the benefit of trading 24/7? Number 1, you have increased liquidity. That's an increased number of buyers and sellers in the market. Number 2, there's going to be an increased level of trading based on relevant news. And number 3, you can introduce a truly global market. It doesn't matter if it's 9 a.m. in New York or 10 p.m. in Tokyo, because it's open 24/7, everyone will be able to trade at any time. Number 2, you can add additional features to existing securities. Personally, I believe this is going to be an absolute game changer in the future. What do I mean by this? Let's take Starbucks as an example. Currently, you could buy shares in their company, and what would you receive? You'd receive shares, that's it. Whereas with a security token, anything that can be written in code, anything that can be programmed in, can be added to that security. So for example, Starbucks could add to their shares that anyone who holds a certain number of shares receives a 10% discount anytime someone buys coffee in their stores. If you've held tokens for over 5 years, you might receive 15% discount, 20% discount. These are just examples, of course, but the concept is absolutely huge. Real companies would be able to provide serious incentives to customers in their stores for simply buying their shares. That is a huge, huge development, and I believe personally we're going to see a lot of that in the future, where just about every company provides incentives for people to buy and hold their shares as a result. Number 3, fractional ownership. A fantastic example of this is the arts and collectibles market. Many wealthy people have realized the massive potential benefit they can gain by diversifying their portfolio into this market because it's generally uncorrelated with other markets. I don't want to confuse you guys and explain that too much, but basically having more uncorrelated investments in your portfolio, which is why arts and collectibles has been a very, very popular market over the last couple of decades. The problem is, it's relatively difficult for people like you and me who don't quite have as much money as some of the high net worth individuals to be able to invest into that market. After all, if I wanted to buy a Picasso, I would have no chance whatsoever. With fractional ownership though, I would be able to buy a very, very small portion of that Picasso, and if it's sold in the future, I would gain as a result. So that gives me the opportunity to diversify into markets which have previously been inaccessible by splitting up the ownership into very, very small fractions. Arts and collectibles is just one example. Another common one is real estate. There might be a real estate investment that you want to get into, but you simply don't have the starting cash. But if we create a small fraction of that and sell those off in the form of tokens, then you can suddenly diversify your portfolio. Cost reductions. In the existing system, if you want to go public, you have to do so via an IPO, an initial public offering. The problem is that costs a huge amount of money. Instead, you could host an STO, a security token offering, which means that you're going public as well. You're still offering shares in your company, but you're doing so via the blockchain method, and you could save huge amounts of money by doing so. Even post-IPO, for some companies, there are usually some heavy reconciliation costs. Using a blockchain makes all of this incredibly visible, which cuts out some of those admin costs, so you receive a cost advantage on day one and even further down the line as well. Number 5 is liquidity. In many private markets, there is very, very low liquidity. That means there aren't many buyers or sellers in the market. So if you hold those assets, it's very difficult for you to sell them. And if you don't hold any, it's going to be very difficult for you to buy any in the first place. By tokenizing these assets, it becomes much easier to create a highly liquid market, especially if we combine that with fractional ownership, because that is going to reduce the barriers to entry, meaning more buyers and sellers, which directly leads to higher liquidity in the market.